Good morning. Welcome to another fabulous episode of How Many Tabs Are Open on Mr. Johnson's Computer. I actually moved this tab over, so it's only two. My other tabs are out of control. Don't judge me. All right, so we have two things to do today. We have a Google activity and we have an Engage. So I'm thinking your Google activity is probably similar to your Play Posit from yesterday, or at least uses some of the same skills. Remember, this week we are working on dividing fractions. So last week was multiplying fractions. This week is dividing fractions. Um, One thing to remember about dividing fractions is it uses the same idea as multiplying fractions. So we're probably going to be doing the pictures on this one, but I'm also going to show you how to do the algorithm because ultimately that's where you're headed. You're headed to algorithm land where you get to use the algorithm. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. So use the models to solve for the quotient. You may go to insert and line right there. I think you can also use just this. Line is right there. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, this is candy bar math. So we're going to pretend, this is me changing it to AISD share settings, just so I don't forget. So make sure yours is on AISD share settings. This candy bar math, basically what we're looking at is we're looking at 3 candy bars and we want to split each candy bar into thirds. All right, and then we're going to find out how many pieces there are in total. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making slices. All right, I'm going to cut each one of these candy bars into 3 equal pieces, or as equal as I can get them for this activity, because it's going to be pretty hard to make them precisely equal, but we're going to cut each one of these into what we think is the closest thing to 3 equal pieces as possible. If you're wondering why we're cutting it into 3 pieces, it's because we're dividing 3 wholes into thirds. Not 2/3, into, I-N-T-O, into thirds. All right, so what we did right here is we took 3 candy bars and we cut them into thirds. All right, so now what we have to decide is how many thirds are we looking at? We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 thirds. So if we take 3 candy bars and we cut them into thirds, we would have 9 pieces. If we took 3 candy bars and cut them into thirds, we would have 9 pieces. All right. So if we were going to look at this as the algorithm, of course, it's going to look very similar, except we're not going to draw pictures. So we're going to do 3 divided into 1/3 pieces. And remember, if you say divided by, it doesn't really tell you what's going on as much as divided into. So a common thing that we can change is just saying divided into. All right, and I'm guilty of it too. A lot of the time I say divided by, but really, like if you think about it, 3 divided into 1/3 pieces kind of makes more sense. All right. So what we're looking at is 3 divided into 1/3 pieces. All right. So obviously we need to do something to make this look like a fraction problem. Same thing as we did before, T-pose on that whole number. So when we T-pose a whole number, basically what we're saying is we're going to put a 1 as the denominator. So now we're looking at 3/1 divided by 1/3. All right. So this is your division of fractions problem. Now, what you're going to do next is this thing called keep, change, flip. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and label keep, change, flip, keep, change, flip. All right, and then what we're going to do, let's go ahead and watch a video about how to divide fractions where they'll tell us what keep, change, flip actually means. All right, so let's watch this video.
Yeah, you know how this go. Keep, change, flip. Simple, right? Divided fractions. Vocabulary. Let's go. Keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know how we're dividing fractions. Keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know how we're dividing fractions.
All right, so keep, change, flip. What that means is you're going to keep the first fraction the same, change the division sign to a multiplication sign, and then you're going to flip the second fraction. So you're going to put the bottom number on top, denominator is going to be your numerator, and numerator is your denominator. It'll do some examples. We'll look at them.
Keep change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know how we're dividing fractions. Keep change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know how we're dividing fractions. Dividing fractions is easy. That's no lie. You just flip one, yep, then you multiply. Don't flip both because that'll be strange. You need to keep one exactly the same. Yeah. Then the sign gets changed, division to multiplication, that's okay. Then flip the second fraction like you're on the grill. We multiply what's left, that's really real. Take 3/5
All right, here's the example. So they're going to do 3/5
divided by 2.
divided by 2/3. Now we're going to apply KF or KCF, keep, change, flip. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this first fraction the same. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Keep it. Keep it. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Keep it. Then we're going to change our division sign to a multiplication sign. So we're going to change our division sign to a multiplication sign. And then we're going to flip our last fraction. When you get older, it's going to be called finding the reciprocal. But what that means is you're going to move the denominator to the numerator position and the numerator to the denominator position. So instead of 2/3, you'd have 3/2. And then you just do top times top, bottom times bottom. Before it's time to say goodbye, don't forget to simplify.
Thirds, keep change, flip, that's the word. Keep 3/5 the same.
All right, so they keep 3/5 the same.
Change the sign so we multiply, that's the game.
So they change the division sign to a multiplication sign.
Flip 2/3, we get 3/2.
And then they flipped 2/3 to where 3 is on top and 2 is on the bottom, making 3/2 or 3/2.
Then we can multiply, and so should you. 3 times 3 is 9.
Back to multiplication, it's top times top, bottom times bottom.
2 times 5 is 10. 9 tenths can't reduce it, that's the end. Why do we flip it? I'll explain the math. Dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by half. 20 students in your class divided by 2 would be 10 students. All we can do, 20 students in your class times half is 10. You'll see, you'll get the same thing at the end. Dividing is multiplying by the reciprocal. Keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the simple rule. Keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know how we're dividing fractions. Keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know how we're dividing fractions. Keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know how we're dividing fractions. Keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's gonna know dividing fractions.
All right, so that's keep, change, flip. Now we're going to go ahead and use keep, change, flip to help us out here. So we started off with 3 divided by 1/3. We changed that into 3/1 divided by 1/3. So we're going to keep the first fraction the same, change the division sign to a multiplication sign, and then we're going to flip our second fraction. So basically all we do is put the numerator on top and the denominator on bottom. So now we can do top times top. 3 times 3 is 9. Bottom times bottom. 1 times 1 is 1. That gives us the improper fraction 9 divided by 1. And then 9 divided by 1 is 9. So we did get the same answer that we got right here. We cut each of these 3 candy bars into thirds, and then that gave us 9 pieces in total. So a couple more to look at. 4 candy bars cut into fourths. So obviously with this one, instead of cutting it into 3 pieces, we're going to cut it into 4 pieces. Remember when you're cutting that you're going to basically make one less cut than you have pieces. So as you can see, I only made 3 cuts, but that makes 4 pieces, right? So another thing that might help you when you're making cuts, if you're cutting into even numbers, start in the middle, and that'll be like the closest thing you can get to half, and then you can make your other 2 cuts, like basically cut your halves in half, because fourths, 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Oops. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut this into 4 pieces. I really wish that I didn't have to reselect the line tool every time, and also every time I hit the right mouse key, it drops my tool. All right, there's 4 more. All right, and let's see if this will work. I'm just going, no, it won't work. Darn. I was going to see if I could copy what I did right there. Maybe if I press Control C and then press Control V. Oh, all right. So you could also Control C will copy and Control V will paste. So if you're being lazy like I am, that'll save you some time. All right. So we just did that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pieces. 16 pieces. So if we take 4 candy bars and we divide it into fourth size pieces, we'll have 16 pieces. Now let's do the math on that. That was going to be 4 divided into 1/4 size pieces. So remember, first things first, turn them both to fractions. Then we're going to keep, change, flip. So 4 over 1 times 4 over 1. Remember, I changed my division sign to a multiplication sign, and then I flip-flopped my numerator and denominator. So 4 times 4 is 16. 1 times 1 is 1. That's 16 divided by 1. So our answer is indeed 16, which matches how many pieces we had when we cut that up. Next one, 5 into thirds. All right, so I'm going to cut 5 into thirds. 5 candy bars will be cut into thirds. So, okay. Once again, I've got 2 cuts to make 1, 2, 3 pieces, right? So also remember, if it's easier for you, Control C after you highlight it, that'll copy, and then you can Control V to paste. That might help you out as far as making this take less time. Um, so basically what we're doing is we took those 5 candy bars and we cut each candy bar into 3 pieces. And by cutting it into 3 pieces, let's count how many pieces we have in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces. All right, so if we're going to do the keep, change, flip, what we had was 5 divided into 1/3 size pieces. All right. So first things first, turn that whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 as the denominator, and then we're going to keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep the first fraction the same, change the division sign to multiplication, and then we're going to flip our second fraction. So our numerator is going to go on the bottom and our denominator is going to go on top. Then it's multiplying fractions, top times top, 5 times 3 equals 15, bottom times bottom, 1 times 1 is 1, and before it's time to say goodbye, don't forget to simplify. 15 divided by 1 is 15. So, matches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces. Next one, 6 divided into halves. Cool. This one should be the easiest. All right, and Control C. I'm making some sloppy halves right here. I don't know why that turned out crooked. Maybe the perfectionist in me should redo that. No, this is still not straight. All right, third time's a charm. If it's not straight this time, I guess I'm just gonna deal with it. Okay, it's not straight, or it's straight, but okay, here we go. Now let's just put a line there. So we cut that one into half. Let's cut this candy bar into half. Remember, this is candy bar math. All we're doing is cutting candy bars into halves. And finally, let's cut this last one. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces. If we cut 6 candy bars into half-size pieces, we will have 12 half-size pieces. So let's check the math on that. It was 6 divided into 1/2 pieces. So remember, turn your whole number into a fraction. Depose 1 is the denominator, and then we're going to keep, change, flip. And that's going to be 6 over 1. Keep it. Change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Flip the second fraction. So instead of 1/2, it's going to be 2 over 1, or 2 wholes. Then it's top times top. 6 times 2 is 12. Bottom times bottom. 1 times 1 is 1. 12 divided by 1 equals 12. So our answer should be 12. It was. I did not put the answer for this one. This was 5 groups of 3, so that's 15. This one was 16 and that one was 9. So we've done all of these with both pictures and using the algorithm with keep, change, flip. Sometimes your test questions will ask, how did you do this problem? So make sure that you can explain it one way or the other. Can you explain it by talking about keep, change, flip? Can you explain it about drawing pictures and cutting them up? But make sure that you know how to explain it so you can get full credit on that test question if you have it. All right. So there's activity one. You still have a discussion to do for today. So go ahead and check out that video too. But I hope you have success with this. Ask your teachers if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great asynchronous Wednesday. I'll see you later. Bye.